Thanks for joining. We'll get started here in a moment. Now, bring it back in a little bit. Thanks for joining me for the second live stream of the day. From what I can tell, focus is good here. I'm using a new camera, and if I don't turn autofocus off, it puts some marks on the screen. So I have to do this little dance of getting autofocus to focus correctly and then stepping off to the side. Looks pretty good on my screen. I hope you're having a great day. We're here to do some inner voice work. But first, I'm Chris Sove. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and founder of a process called retrocession. We're not necessarily going to go into any retrocession here. This is purely inner voice work. Now, my longer inner voice work course does include some retrocession, but this is just about an hour of basic work. We're going to start with some deep relaxation, some body awareness, and then we're going to listen. And I'll go into the details as we go. This is not a stream where I tell you what you should think. I'm not going to tell you what inner voice is. Maybe speculate some, but frankly, it doesn't matter to me. There are plenty of people out there that will tell you what to believe. I'm not really interested in that. I'm going to hold space for you and give you some simple prompts to have an experience. That is literally all I do, whether in person in my office, in group events, on my channel and social media. What I do is create experiences. It's up to you to have the experience and then jump off from that point. I'm not here to tell you what to think, what to believe. I'm not here to convince you of anything. So how this usually works is, I'm going to give you simple instructions. You can choose to follow them or not. This is for you. You get to choose. But if you'd like to follow along, I recommend you get to a comfortable place, lie down. You could be lying down. You could be seated. If you're going to fall asleep, if you lie flat, maybe prop yourself up with some pillows. I would recommend not sitting cross-legged style with a straight back unless you can do so with comfort. Now, if you can sit that way comfortably for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever the case may be, I would recommend setting up your space so that you can lie down if things start to get uncomfortable. We'll get started in a minute. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to relax. If you're watching a replay, feel free to pause. I'm only going to give you maybe 15, 20 seconds to get everything set up for yourself. I'm going to get started soon. I'm going to bring the music back up as we start to calm. And now is a good time to just settle in. Whatever it takes. If you're seated, adjust as needed. If you're lying down, bring some pillows in if you need some support under the knees. Whatever the case may be, wherever you are, find the support you need. If you think you might get a drink of water, bring a glass of water close. If you have an oil diffuser and you want some pleasant scents in there, go ahead and get that going. Take your time. If you're here for the live stream, we just have a few more seconds before I begin, but get yourself comfortable. And this is not a situation where I'm going to recommend that you stay perfectly still the whole time. There's no need for that. Get comfortable. If you feel the need as we go to move around, to twitch, to make noise, go for it. This isn't some formal meditation class. In fact, what we're doing is quite a bit different than most meditation instruction. It's not really even meditation by some definitions. What's going to happen is I'm just going to give you simple instructions. If you choose to follow those, you're going to follow along and have an experience. If you're somebody who likes to journal, I would encourage you to wait till the end, but maybe have the journal handy. Sometimes getting up and moving is going to disrupt the flow, and you may lose some of what you experienced during the journey. So maybe have a pen and paper close by, if that sounds good. We're going to get started. So start to settle in, whether you're seated or lying down. Shift is needed to get comfortable. Every shift in position, you start to feel a little heavier, a little more comfortable. Eyes might start to feel heavy, but keep them open if you can. Really comfortable. Whatever surface you're on, no matter how soft it is, it might start to feel like it gets a little bit softer. It starts to envelop you. The most comfortable surface you've ever sat or lie down on. You might start to feel even heavier. Eyelids getting heavy. So pleasantly heavy, and maybe they start to close, but try to keep them open just a bit longer. They start to close though. You're fighting that off a little bit. Beautiful. They're closing. And as they close, the whole body just sinks in even deeper. Even deeper, body heavier, so relaxed, feeling so pleasant. Couldn't be better. Eyes are fully closed now. With eyes closed, notice your breath. Notice your breath. That rise and fall of your chest. You can bring a hand to your chest, a hand to your stomach. I'm going to step off camera for one moment. Just keep breathing. Hand on stomach, hand on chest. There we go. That should be better. All right. Now settle in. You start to feel so heavy, pleasantly heavy. Now, notice beneath your feet, whether you're seated or lying down, notice just beneath your feet, there's a little bit of energy. You might notice it as a static feeling, maybe a little bit of warmth beneath the feet, just beneath the feet. Not really feeling it yet, but you know it's there, just beneath the feet. And then that sensation starts to rise up into the soles of your feet. You're going to feel it touch the soles of your feet, and it rises up through the feet, the ankles, the shins, up through the calves. You're scanning up through the body into the knees now. Everywhere we go, as we pass through the body, it relaxes, it releases a little bit deeper. You might even start to feel numb below that line as it rises up through the thighs, getting up into the hips, just steadily rising at your own pace. Rises still further through the belly button. It's coming up through the abs, rising up, noticing through chest. You scan up through heart center to the tops of your shoulders. Then attention comes down the arms to the fingertips. and start scanning up through fingers, through palms, wrists. Notice forearms, scanning up through elbows and upper arm. Now, scanning through tops of your shoulders, starting to scan up through neck. We're going to slow a little bit here. We scan up through neck, getting to the jaw. If you have your teeth clenched, notice that. Allow your mouth to fall gently open. Teeth part, scanning through mouth. Up through nose. Now slow even more. As we move through the top part of the head, eyes up, you're just envisioning or feeling the whole skull from here, rising up, scanning through the eyebrows and forehead, relaxing all the way from the skull down to the very center of your brain. Sure, there's no muscles there, but notice all the way deep inside your head. Notice the sensations there as you start to relax. If you find it, you'll know deep in the center of the brain, you'll feel things kind of settle. Nice. We're going to just pause there. Relaxing all the way down into the very center of your brain. Then continuing the scan up, very gradually approaching the top of your head. And just pause here. That scan, that sense of relaxation, it sits right above the head. Just as when it was beneath your feet, you know it's there. The deep relaxation, it's about a half an inch above your head. Maybe you feel it like static. Maybe you feel it like warmth, but it's sitting there and it's not passing through the body yet. Notice the relaxation in the body, all the way from the top of the head down to the soles of your feet. Just notice. And then pretty rapidly scan down through the whole body at your own pace. Bounce your attention from soles of your feet back up to the top of your head, bouncing from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet over and over again, as many times as it takes, just bouncing top of the head to the soles of your feet. Every time you scan through the body, relax a little bit deeper. Sink in a little bit more. That scan starts to slow. The next time it comes down to the soles of your feet, it slows. And it stops at the soles of your feet. Now take a few moments. Enjoy the relaxation. Enjoy the sensation of the body being relaxed. Just breathing. Every breath, you relax a little deeper. Now, notice the sounds around you. Ambient noises in the room. The sound of my voice. Sounds filtering in from outside. You might find your mind just kind of sits there in the midst of it all, floating effortlessly in the midst of that sound. Or maybe your mind flits from sound to sound, like a bee from flower to flower. Either one is beautiful, no wrong way to do it. Now notice the sensation of your body supported by the floor, by the chair, wherever you are. Notice. You may scan through the body, noticing places your body is touching something. Notice the sensation of gravity. Sensation of gravity holding you here. Notice the light filtering in through your eyes, your closed eyes. If there's scents in the room, notice that. Relaxing, releasing. It's the first step to getting in touch with your inner voice. Here in the stillness, relaxation, peace. You know, whether you realize it or not, whether your conscious mind realizes it or not, you know. Whatever the question is, whatever you're wanting to know, whatever's drawn you to this inner voice work, you know how to get there. It may take a little bit of time, but you know. I would never ask you to trust me, but I'm going to ask you to trust one person, even just temporarily. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Not talking about the conscious mind, no. Or if you're going to have faith in something, have faith that you know deep inside, beneath all the stuff that plagues you, the repetitive thoughts, the depression, the anxiety, the fear, the tension. Beneath all that, there's a stillness. There's a reservoir of creativity. You're there right now. You're in that place. Trust yourself and your capacity. Trust yourself. So with that trust, ask yourself, what do I need? Now, this isn't a process of thinking about the answer. You're not thinking through, well, this happened yesterday or this happened today, so I probably need this. It's not what I'm talking about. I call that cogitation. It's fine, but that's not what we're doing here. You're relaxing into the question, whatever that means to you. I'm not going to tell you exactly what that means. Relax into the question. It's like you're floating in the middle of that question. Allow that question to pervade the mind, the body. You're floating in the midst of that question. What do I need? So I'm going to give you a hint about how you know if it's inner voice that's talking and not your own conscious mind. The answers don't come in words. Not exactly. There may be words after the fact, but it comes down as a knowingness. And then there's typically a process after that knowingness where you convert it into words and know that that is beautiful. That is an essential part of the process, but know that it's your conscious mind creating the words. So take your time. If it doesn't feel quite right, go back to the experience and reframe until it feels right. But that knowingness before words is your inner voice. It all pops out at once. What takes time is the translation for others, for yourself, so you can remember. What do you need? Allow that answer to pop out. Allow that answer to present itself. What do you need? When you've asked the question, when the answer has come, relax into it. Allow it to be what it is. It's not time to think about it. You can do that later. You'll remember this. You'll remember this at the end of the stream, which is coming soon. Just a short stream. When we end, you'll remember and you'll write it down. You'll note it wherever you typically take notes. What do you need? Now, we're going to move on to the next question. If you're still there on the what do you need question, beautiful, stay there. I'm just giving suggestions here. So you've asked the question of what you need. Now, what's the first little step you can take to fulfill that need right after the stream is over? What's the first little step you can take to fulfill that need? Again, allow the answer to flow out. It's not a process of thinking this or that, or if this, then that. It's not what we're doing here. There's plenty of room for that, but not right now. What is that little step you're going to take to fulfill the need? Preferably a small step. So as an example, if what you need right now is a discussion with your mother, the little step is to dial her on the phone right after the stream. If what you need is some relaxation, where do you feel most relaxed? If it's somewhere far, go put it on your calendar, a trip to that place. Maybe even buy the tickets if you can. But what is the smallest step you can take to satisfy the need that you have? And if it's something that you can't accomplish right now, what's a single step in that process? Maybe even calendaring it for tomorrow, another day. What's the minimum baby step you can take toward fulfilling that need? Allow that answer to appear. Allow that answer to present itself. Relax into it. If the mind starts taking you places, go. This is not a place where I'm going to tell you to allow things to float away or to silence yourself. Allow the mind to go. Allow yourself to dream. Allow the imagination to fly free. And as I close out this stream in a few minutes, I would encourage you to stay in silence for a bit longer. Maybe you journal, maybe you just lie down, sit down, and allow the process to end. And again, I'm going to say it, you'll know when the process is finished, when it's time to move, when it's time to take that step, when it's time to write down what your experience was here. You know. This is just the simplest of introductions to inner voice work. The simplest little introduction. I go much deeper in my forthcoming course. You'll find it on my website in the coming days. Inner Voice Work, Part 1. It's a 3-part course. Releasing the first part shortly. It's going to begin on the May 15th. So you have a little bit of time. If you get in early, there's a discount, but it begins on May 15th. And the important part, you can start anytime you'd like. You could start after May 15th, but starting on May 15th is ideal because there are going to be private lives associated with the course. So if you want to be a part of those, if you want to have the opportunity to ask questions, you can ask them verbally, you can type questions. There'll be an opportunity for that. You're going to get a free ebook with it, a workbook, a place to write down your answers and the assignments. Inner voice work is one of the most fulfilling steps you can take right now. It's deeply relaxing. It's going to fire up your creativity. Are you an artist, a writer, a business person even? It's going to fire up your creativity. Inner voice work is going to get you in touch with your deep needs. It's going to improve your life. And that's why I'm starting, as I start to launch courses, that's why I'm starting with inner voice work. That's why I'm talking about inner voice work on my YouTube channel and through these streams, starting to on social media. It's foundational. Because if we can't recognize our inner voice, all we have is the mess created by the conscious mind. All the baggage we brought with us. This is an opportunity to get beneath that, to find real answers. Thank you so much for joining. If you came in late, this will be posted on my YouTube channel, assuming that I got the focus right, that the mic is working correctly. This time I only had one little hiccup. Last time I had 3. So it's great. I forgot to move the mic close before the stream. So I know it was probably somewhat hard to hear for the first 10 minutes or so. So I think I got it under control now. I suspect that I'm going to be doing streams like this pretty frequently over the next few days. So watch out for those. I'll get a schedule up. I'm not ready at this moment to do that, but in the next couple of days, I'll get a schedule up and I'll put them on. You'll be able to look at my YouTube channel and you'll see them. If you go to lives, it'll show the ones that are scheduled. So you can plan for those. Everything streams on YouTube and also Facebook. Might stream on Instagram, but it adds another layer of complexity. But I'd love to see you in any of those streams. You can check out my website. It's linked in the description, I believe. Well, maybe not the description, but I believe it's linked on my YouTube channel, linked through my bio on Facebook. Check out my website. Let me know if you have any questions. I really mean it. Reach out. You can reach out by direct message on social media. You can reach out through my website. There's a little chat box in the lower right of the screen. Love to hear from you. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm going to answer. Thanks so much for being here.